And I remember right before my freshman year of college, I went to this thing called Impact, which is like a Christian freshman orientation camp at A&M.
Mhm.
And for the first time, I saw people my age, like, taking God seriously, like,
Wow.
really taking their faith seriously, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is a thing that, like, I can do now." And then
Mm.
I got in my head about it, though, and I was like, "Well, I'm not good enough yet for that."
Yeah.
It was always this thing of, I need to get it together. I need to be able to write pretty in my Bible and wear the right dress
Mhm.
and be the most perfect person possible, and then I'll go to God,
Yeah.
And I think at Impact, I remember we were worshiping, and there was just one night where it hit me of, like, God just basically said to me, like, "I want you exactly as you are."
Wow.
I mess and all, like, "You don't come to me when you're perfect, you come to me now, and we work together,"
Mm.
you know?
It's huge.
And I think it was just so huge, and in that moment, it was just all this stuff I had been through in high school and all this, it just my faith became real, and I realized God is who he says he is. Like, he
Right.
sits me down and he found me, and it was literally on my 18th birthday is when that happened, and it was like
How cool is
it's
that?
cool. It's like the moment I turned into, like, an adult, adult, I'm like, I was able to find that and make my faith real, and I think it's just everyone has a different story where God all of a sudden meets them where they're at, and you're like, "This is the God of the Bible. This is the God who I believe
Yeah.
in."
Which is
Um
a huge thing for, I would imagine, kids in college and high school to be like,
Mhm,
well, because they can't, some kids, and I know it was true for me, I had a foot in
mhm.
both worlds. Like I knew
Yeah.
I believed in God and I wanted to honor him, but I was also having a blast over
Mhm,
here and partying.
mhm,
And so
mhm.
I think there is a lie out there that you have to get it together, that until
Yeah,
you clean up all those things and you can't walk
yeah,
in it. I'm like, what is the church for then? So I
exactly.
love so early on that he just called that out and used it, that you could share it with other people to be like,
Mhm.
hey, this is actually the better way, is to come over here and let God help you clean it up
Yeah.
versus like you get it together and then impress them, because that's not the gospels. So cool. Okay, so I loved in the beginning, your first chapter, I think, is it was something about Shadrach and Abednego. What are those guys about not smelling like smoke? Do you remember this one?
Yes, yes, I
Okay, so
do.
tell us about that. That I have never thought about that, and it just really struck me this morning about that we don't have to smell like smoke.
Yeah, it really I heard that a sermon, my pastor at my church back home in San Antonio spoke on this, and I heard it when I was in high school, and it hit me, like, I was really like, "Wow." But it was talking about basically after I'd gone through all of my mean girl stuff, I still was holding on to kinda maybe this bitterness in a way towards these
Yeah.
girls, where it's like, they really hurt me, and they really let me down, and I'm angry about this, and I have resentment and bitterness, and I think that's the smoke, because what they talk about in Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is they go into the furnace and the angel protects them and they come out and they don't even smell like smoke.
It's amazing.
Um, and it was just that little detail, but it was the fact that they went in there and they came out, didn't even smell like smoke. And I think so many times we go through the fire and we can go through these trials, but we still come out sometimes smelling like smoke. There's still a little bit of resentment there, maybe a little bit of anger,
Mhm.
maybe a little bit of struggle of why did this happen to me? How did this
Yep.
happen to me? It's not fair this happened to me. How dare they do this? How dare this happen? I need to get even. And it's just knowing like God's got you and he's a God of justice and leave it up to him to handle the things that need to be handled and continue in your own path, because at the end of the day, the bitterness and the resentment and that smoke only hurts you. It only tires you out. It only wears you down because they're
Mhm.
not feeling it. The people
That's
who
right.
hurt you,
That's right.
and I think it made me realize like I need to let go of some of the hard things that happened and I need to give that to God and know that he
Yeah.
is enough and that he will do what he needs to do and that I can just control myself.
So good.
And so yeah.
What I love about a devotional for this age, I remember getting Jesus Calling was one of my first devotionals when I went to
Mhm.
Auburn, and it was so short and sweet. And would we all want our kids and even us to sit down and study God's word and meditate? Yes, and that is possible. But also, like in those times, like the season that you're in, like I will bounce that idea of don't smell like smoke and what happened with and Daniel around my head
Mhm.
for probably the next few days. And that's what we want for our kids. So I love that your mom
Yeah.
put in here. And in case your mom bought you this book, it's like, yeah, probably we will order this and ship it to the dorm or
Mhm.
ship it to
Mhm.
give it to our high schooler. But that's the purpose of a devotional. Yours are
Yeah.
baked in truth, they're biblical
Mhm.
truth. You ask great questions and you just give us a thought to kind of ponder on. I was trying to look at the in each section, you kind of have a weekly recap, you have a place for
Yes.
the notes in the back. And these are great. And I hate to break it to you, you are a writer. Sorry, girl. Welcome to the party. Oh, joy. Oh, joy.